Welcome back. Music mogul Diddy Combs is facing new allegations of sexual assault. This time, a woman claims the rapper drugged and sexually assaulted her in New York City back in 1991.
He died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said it was ruled a homicide and they found toxins in her body.
He is denying the allegations, but these new claims come exactly 1 week after Combs settled a separate lawsuit involving his ex-girlfriend Cassie, who accused him of sex trafficking, rape, and domestic abuse.
Cassie, I will advocate for you. Because, see, I know something that a lot of people don't know. I know that you and Kim Porter had a sit down right before she left us.
Doesn't look good.
Raw. It's fucking raw. It's real. Okay.
Okay, so today's episode is on Diddy. Surviving Diddy is the title. And I will be discussing my thoughts on what I think should go on next, following the 3 currently allegations surrounding Diddy. Now, it's important to say this disclaimer that everything we are discussing are just allegations, opinions, and no one is saying this as a statement of fact about Sean Puffy Combs. That must be said because no one is suing me. No one is claiming that this stuff is true. We're just saying that maybe we should look into this further. Okay, what brought me to this was the allegations surrounding Diddy and Cassie, now of which it has been settled outside of court for a large sum, I believe in the region of 8 figures, deep 8 figures. Many people may argue that if he is guilty, why did she settle outside of court? I would argue, are you Cassie? Have you been abused? And how can you speak on that? And it's important to say this, guilt does not mean you settle outside of court. Innocent doesn't mean you settle outside of court. What settling outside of court means is that you settle outside of court because you didn't want the stress of going through court. There could be a number of reasons. You can take of what that is that you want to, whether you believe settling means you're guilty and you were afraid of court, or you just didn't want to go through the stress. I don't know. It's up to you to decide. Now, with the allegations with Cassie, again, has been settled outside of court. She alleged abuse, forcing of her to have sex with other people while he watched and masturbated, forcing her to call male sex workers for them to have sex with, physical and financial and mental abuse as well. Now, it's difficult to discern whether we should take this further and see if there's any truth in it in the other people. But what we show is that there is some sort of history that Diddy has with abuse, to say the least. Now, what I want to do is, again, the title is Surviving Diddy. If it was just one allegation, I don't think it'd be fair to do this. But there seems to be a pattern here. And I'm going to show, you've also got the 3 women accusing him. One accusing him of in the early 90s of drugging her and having sex with her, which is rape. Here are other women discussing things Diddy did which leave you uncomfortable.
I wasn't willing to do what was expected of me. Not talent-wise, but in other areas.
And were other girls doing?
I was the only one that was in those types of positions.
So I turned over to Meek and I said, happy birthday. Like me, Puff, and Meek. Puff had leaned forward to talk to somebody, say hi or whatever. And so I turned over to Meek and I said, happy birthday. He put his hand out and then he was like, thank you. So I reached his hand and shook it. And as I shook Meek's hand, he turned around and saw it and he got so mad.
When you look back on that, how does that make you feel?
You know, I have such a love-hate with it all because I don't think I would have been able to be so successful in so many other areas had I not been trained under Diddy. He was the hardest person that you can work for, and it was torture. And not the work part of it, but the other stuff. Mind games, just all the girls were so divided, and the men and the people running it had their hands in it, moving everything. There was a lot of betrayal, there was a lot of lies, there was a lot of You know, when you're young and impressionable and we understand our beauty as women through the eyes of the people observing us. Well, who's observing us? Men. So we learn our beauty through a man's eye, which is very subjective. So it's difficult when you're that young to understand your worth as a woman through the men that I was around, and that was very traumatic. I don't think any of us have healed from that.
Wow.
And then we probably like stayed like 20 minutes after that happened. And then when we got in the car, he like grabbed my hair. We were in the one of those Escalade trucks.
Okay.
So I was sitting on this side, he was on the other side, and he like grabbed my hair and like cussed me out for doing that. He was like, "Why the fuck can I cuss?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Why the fuck you shaking his hand for?" Like just saying
so
stuff
it
like
was
that. I
just
was
like
like
a jealous rage.
Yeah, I was like, I was just saying happy birthday, nothing else. I think he thought I was trying to be sneaky behind his back.
Now, in the case of Aubrey, I think it's very interesting that she never actually explicitly alludes to what Diddy did, but she quite clearly alludes to behavior and patterns and being put in situations that made her very uncomfortable. She is also someone in her past and currently discussing how she has been abused by the Hollywood system, which is nothing new, but it does seem to have a disturbing pattern, especially the way she discusses Diddy as well. Then you have his former girlfriend discussing what is abuse, physical abuse, and a pattern of abusers having an enlarged sense of jealousy and acting violently to discipline her. Now, I'm going to show you this video that 50 Cent, my guy, posted.
What you got to say now? What you got to say now? You ain't got shit to say. When you put your girl on the snap, baby, yo, babe. I mean, shit getting weird. Come on, baby. It's hot outside. You fucking wrapped up in that blanket. Let's go jog on the beach.
Again, leaves you a bit uncomfortable, doesn't it? Again, isn't that a pattern? Not saying he's an abuser, but shouldn't we look into this further? I'm going to show you another video that I have seen that has a pattern with other abusers and what they do.
Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing.
Now, it's very common with abusers, once they have got away with their crime, to believe they're above the crime, the God complex to come out to think, hey, I'm better than you. Check out R. Kelly when he got away, or was getting away at the time, with his abuse. He made an 18-minute song about how everyone was lying on him and blah, blah, blah. You got OJ, If I Had Done It, which was hilariously an admission of guilt. And then you've got that video from Diddy bragging, saying, I still stand tall. Now, Diddy himself has a murky past, a murky history with artists, a murky history with other men as well, which we'll get to. If in the case of Jadakiss and the Locks, they have accused Diddy of very, very nefarious things, and I'll leave you with this video.
Let's real recognize real. Y'all know where the office is at? There's a big sign on it. I'm gonna be here.
The whole National Guard's downstairs, too. Cut it out, man.
I ain't gonna get caught up in this. I'm a grown-ass man, man.
You're a coward.
And I don't take nothing.
You're a thief, Buff. Coward. Don't say you're a thief.
Okay.
You're a
Come
thief.
to the office, man. Come to the office so we can straighten it out there,
Yo,
man.
how we just three guys you don't even mess with. You had your Ace Boom publishing.
You call me whatever you
You
want.
won't let his publishing
I'm at the
go.
office.
You won't let your man's publishing
We're gonna
go.
argue in front of New York. That's the way you want
Do
to
you own your man's publishing,
Nobody
dog?
did nothing to y'all, man.
Do you own your
And
man's
whoever
publishing?
New York could believe it or whatever. I don't
Do
really
you
care,
own your
man,
man's
'cause I know
publishing?
that I can sleep good at night because I ain't never
You
did nothing to
can't-
y'all. And if y'all ever want
Dog, you had a whole bunch of artists that
I'm here.
Puffy.
That's it.
Dog, you had a bunch of artists whose careers never went right with you, dog.
Hey,
Be for real, dog. Look at the list.
Look
Look at your list.
You know,
we don't want to be violent. You the artist that did best for yourself. Look at your list, dog. Look at all the artists you dealt with. Look at the situation they dealt with. You know, 112 not happy with you gone. Faith not happy with you gone. We not happy with you gone. Faith not happy with you gone.
Wow. All right, he's hung up. He's gone.
Again, what does that make you know? That Diddy is someone that is difficult to trust, Diddy's someone who's dishonest in public. And again, Diddy is someone who hides a lot from the public. Check out this video.
If you think that I'm a scumbag that will ever steal anything, my name is Diddy, Sean Combs. I never took nothing from nobody a day in my life. All I've ever given is opportunity and more money than a person was making.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fight for my reputation. I'm going to fight for the honorable man I am, the righteous king that I am. The Mace thing. I did one album with Mace. One album. How much money do you think I owe this guy? One album? And then he became a fake pastor and went and conned people. And then y'all gonna let him throw dirt on the God's name? I wrote each and every one, and each and everybody could come and step up. Bring your receipts. But I'm not playing. I'm back outside and I'm fighting back for us. And I'm also do a little fighting back for me. You know what I'm saying? So
how much money does, and I'm just throwing this out, how much money does somebody like a Mace owe you? Because the reason I say that.
Mace owes me $3 million. That's facts. I got the receipt.
Second album, you gave money to do second album, never delivered.
Did the album, never delivered. You know what I'm saying?
Why did I show you that video? Back to what I said earlier about abusers and bragging and showing off. Now you may turn and say to me, hey, this is business. That's what people were saying with Mace as well. That's what that video was relating to. That this is business. People sign bad deals. People are uncomfortable with these deals. But it doesn't mean that they're guilty. It doesn't mean that he's guilty of sexual misconduct outside of that. That's true. The only reason I showed you that is to show you that Diddy has a God complex, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. And that Diddy is someone who likes to brag in public. And also Diddy is someone who is dishonest to the public. He's not very forthcoming with the truth. And he is someone that would hide something. Now, 50 Cent has said for years that Diddy is someone that is lying in the public's eye. He's someone that is a secret bisexual. And check this video, actually.
Interview.
Nori.
The Drink Champs.
Yes.
And he go, when he's doing, he says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said something fabulous and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Incense is going off. When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of dude, you take me. That's what a guy says to a girl. The nigga Puff was like, first he was amping him to get stout. Then he was like, when we gonna get the chance to kick it, like we could just hang out, nigga. We gotta kick it.
This is
Puff.
Okay.
He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he was like, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just say? I got the fuck away from him because I was like, this nigga fucking. This nigga just tell me he'd take me shopping. And this is shit that goes on. But there's a little fruit, Puppy's a fruit pile. It's a fruit pile, trust me. You see these little weird ass pictures and shit like that out there, sitting out there for no reason. You don't see accident pictures with me like kissing niggas. Like that doesn't happen by accident. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Look, later you gonna find out a little shit that I be saying be real.
I asked 50 about that. And he said you did the same thing to him. You asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah. I thought he needed some clothes. What? I'm a nice guy.
The reason I say that is perhaps the murkiness, the dishonesty in public is to protect Diddy's image, is to protect the fact that he's in a culture that is very hyper-masculine, somewhat still misogynistic and homophobic. And if he's someone that is bisexual, which is not a problem, he may be hiding that. That might be why he's dishonest. Now, I don't have a problem with that. Perhaps us investigating this further, pushing for an investigation further, will allow it to come to light and allow him to live his bisexual truth. Despite people maybe thinking it's funny, let's be honest, it's not that serious. But it can also allow us to know whether these victims are just extorting him, and he's the victim of that, or They're the real victims, and they have been silenced for years due to his power and influence. Again, when we look into Diddy's past, remember when Usher lived with him when he was 13, 14 years old? Look at this video.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn some...
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place.
You know, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
And your parents were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige, they didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 in the morning with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And what kind, do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like, you know,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Fresh off the garden stage.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, I mean, damn, pause, but like, check this out. I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the fuck did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes. And we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was fucking stupid. Listen.
We having a good time, yo. Usher made it in the... Hey, yo.
Now that left me a bit uncomfortable. Not only you have the allegations and seemingly large allegations of Diddy and his bisexual past, but also Usher being made to feel very uncomfortable in these situations, put into uncomfortable environments with Usher and other adults. I'll play this video too.
Mr. Lee, yeah, I love this drink. Where you put my
bag
I like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
It's
scrambling
right
and
here.
scraping. When you
It's right here,
scrambling and
it's right
scraping for
here.
shit. No?
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go over with that one.
Make a
That
wish.
one.
Just blow it out. It's your birthday every day.
Every day's your birthday on Drink Champs, goddammit. I'm in.
Where I look
Did you
back
miss
on
me?
where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real, because I'm
I
saying
miss-
it seems like a thing
I
with
miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man. I
Man,
miss
but I'm
partying
talking about
with
for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying? Eyes, brother.
Oh, man.
Eyes. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So check this out. It's me, Tyrese, Ray J, and F. Gary Gray. You know, I'm a type of nigga, I like variety, man. I like people that's unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? I like different personalities. So I was like, I never knew they would become what they are today. But you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, that sounded like the type of night I want to have in Vegas. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So
Now, the reason I played that video is to show you that Diddy is someone that does things and acts, in my opinion, although he was inebriated at Drink Champs, in a sexually inappropriate way. He doesn't quite understand sexual cues. He doesn't even understand social cues from the way he's behaving. Again, he is inebriated, but it wouldn't behoove me if Diddy was someone that done things a little bit more nefariously behind people's back, if you know what I mean. Jada Wright has alleged for years that Diddy is a secret predator, is an abuser, and is someone that killed Kim Porter. She's also discussed that he's been exploiting Biggie Smalls' death for years. Now, these are the more salacious rumors, the rumors that I was afraid and wanted to stay away from, because for the simple fact that there's just not enough evidence. There's just not enough meat in the potatoes with this. But when you add in these other allegations, including Cassie's, they are worth discussing. They're just worth looking forward. They're worth investigating by other people. other federal bureaus, if you know what I mean. And the thing that made me very uncomfortable was what DJ Academic said. Check out the video.
For that echelon, he's pissed off. But they checked his ass real quick. He's now paid his dues. And what's going to happen is that in the next week or two, some other crazy explosive shit's going to happen to some sacrificial lamb to drown this story out. Facts. Mark my word. In the next week or two, some crazy story you've never thought about. What the fuck? You forget about this shit in 2 weeks. Remember I told you.
It makes me uncomfortable because there has been the allegations of Jamie Foxx that has recently come out. There's the allegations of other music moguls or former music moguls who are not as much in the limelight surrounding their past and sexual misconduct that they have done. And DJ Academics is saying, you know, he's paid off the right people and now it's going to flush into the background. Now, as of today, he has been dropped as the chairman of Revolt. So it seems like this is a steamrolling event. However, I don't want this to leave the media line. I don't want this to disappear and fade into the background. Too often this happens with big multi-millionaire people. Why did I say it like that? I have no idea. My brain was in a bit of a fart. But I'm afraid of that. And I want this to stay in the forefront. I want to come to some sort of resolution where we discover who is lying and who is telling the truth. And that's the most important thing. Similar to R. Kelly, it went on for years. Similar to other abusers like Harvey Weinstein. These stuff go over for years because people are afraid of them. If you look at something Joe Budden said, this left me the most uncomfortable.
Right, like, for as much praise as I give Hove and a Puff and a Dame and just for all of the praise, right? Again, back to podcasters keeping some of their thoughts private and just like not having to share everything. I don't feel like I need to come in here and have word vomit about my discernment when it comes to some of the evil shit that goes on in the industry. Nor do I think I'm the mascot and spokesperson to be the deliverer of news for some of the evil shit that goes on in the industry or some of the treacherous, some of the things that are not made not so public, right? Like, I don't think the public would react well if they knew all of the locker room behavior of football players. I don't. When it start looking like an orgies around the corner, when it start looking like the Molly Fest is going on, when it start looking like the doofy people shit, I'm not talking about Puff. LA is LA still. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, New York's New York.
And New York is New York, but LA is different.
Yeah, true. That's true.
LA is different. That gets into Hollywood. That gets into
It's very belly of the beast.
the Holly plant. That gets into the Holly plant being used for spells and rituals. It just gets deep. It's weird over there. It's a weird energy over there.
Weird as fuck.
But whatever. But I say that to say, born alone, die alone with me. Don't put none of these niggas' weird kinks on me. Don't put them on my jacket. And don't think that I'm the publicist for none of it. I am not, because I come in here and do a podcast twice a week. This ain't gonna go like that.
Now, the reason it made me the most uncomfortable is because as a podcaster, as a YouTuber, as someone in the media, you are a part of the fourth estate, the extended part of the fourth estate, which the fourth estate is the media and the news outlets. However, Joe Budden showed me something that is typical in Hollywood culture, especially when you're covering Hollywood. People are afraid to discuss it. He mentioned something there about the Holly and the Woo and talking about sacrifices and rituals, which is something has been rumored for years, and it was dropped as if it was a nugget and walked over. That's highly implicative of a Masonic order, satanic rituals, and all these other stuff that has been discussed in the media and has been seen as the cuckoo silver hat conspiracy theorist. He dropped it, someone who's been in those circles to some degree, so flippantly he may not have realized. And a wise man once told me, many wise men actually told me this, is that a lot is said without realizing what has been said. Now, he didn't implicate Diddy in that instant, but he implicated a lot of things. And that's why I believe it's important to investigate, because perhaps it's not Diddy. Perhaps it's a lot of people surrounding Diddy. Like this video showed me.
Fox to like Denzel Washington to whoever. Everybody know me.
Yeah.
So everybody know if I say it, I'm gonna fuck it to to death. I like the fucking public, you feel me?
Yeah.
So niggas can't say nothing about it. Them square ass niggas, them precious cake little dick niggas.
Yeah.
I like for them niggas to see how I fuck. Like if you speak to Jodeci or Puffy or any of them niggas, they been at my house. They all see me fuck. They all know I'm a big nigga.
There are many celebrities that involve themselves in these unusual and sexually perversive things. Now that in itself, what the video I just showed you, isn't the worst. They're all consenting adults, and I'm hoping the woman involved was a consenting adult as well. But I believe they need to be investigated further. It really left me uncomfortable that Joe Biden was saying, hey, leave me out of this. I don't want to discuss this. I get he may not know. He may be uncomfortable to discern whether it's true or not. There's 3 allegations. There seems to be more that potentially might be on the horizon. But the fact that showed the clear implications, the clear way in which the media run away from these challenges, it left me extremely uncomfortable. Period, point blank. I'm sorry, it has to be said. And that's why I'm pushing for this. And that's why I'm discussing this, so that we get to a place and point in which where we discuss these things and we investigate these things severely. What's the point of a police force? What's the point of having a media outlet if when these things happen, sexual misconduct and sexual assault by powerful people, that we run and hide due to fear? I'm going to be quite frank with you guys. If there's something going on in Hollywood and him saying the holly and the woo and rituals and spells, they should not be representing what we believe to have values and being idols for children, these inspirations for people in difficult times. They shouldn't be representing that. We should look into that. We shouldn't skirt over it because of fear. The masses are stronger than the few. We've got to remember that bit. If you're asking me directly. And I think to conclude with this video, I just want to say it quite frankly that no one is trying to accuse Diddy. Again, we're trying to find out whether if Diddy is the innocent party and he's a part of some extortion ring, or the victims, and so commonly with victims, have been silenced for years due to fear, due to being ignored, depending on their race, not respected. We should be pushing for investigations. When this stuff happened, people don't trial them in public opinion and say, I'm never going to go to their games, like people say with Mason Greenwood. I don't fuck with their music. Let's push for them to be investigated. Let's push for truth. In a world full of lies, the truth sticks out like a sore thumb. And we should push for that. We should push for a media outlet, and especially people like Joe Biden, to not be afraid. I get why they're afraid. I was afraid to discuss this. I'm afraid to discuss the slightly more conspiratorial ideas that I have about Hollywood, just out of pure fear of people ignoring me, people think I'm crazy. Again, I am a YouTuber / podcaster with 36 as of today, hopefully 1 million tomorrow, but we'll wait, subscribers. So I don't want it to fall on deaf ears as well. But we should not just go by when atrocities and abuse happens. We're all here pounding the pavement for Palestine, which is amazing and great. And, there's things I think we can improve on. But when abuse happens in our backyard, in our back shoulder, we ignore it or quickly gloss over and say, hey, these things happen. Then we look down on the other people and say, how are you allowing those abuses to happen? That's not right. That's not acceptable. I'm not saying I'm trying to get a perfect world, but when something wrong happens, we should perfectly attack those things and allow them to feel as if you do something wrong, you won't go under the radar. Diddy has demonstrated multiple times of a God complex. Now, having a God complex doesn't necessarily equal sexual abuser for years. However, if you have a God complex, you're someone who thinks you're above the law. And I dare to think how you would treat the women around you there. Okay, guys, I am very proud to have done this episode. I'm very proud to have discussed it with you. I may even do a follow-up one because I feel like there was so much that could have been said. However, time is of the essence and we've got to move on and go forward. I hope to hear from you guys again. Again, if you like anything, if there's things if you want to improve, please leave a comment, DM me, follow me on my socials. They're in the description. Let's try and get some justice for those victims, whether it be Diddy and the powerful people being extorted, or the victims, which statistically, normally speaking, are the ones really being victimized of sexual assault. Guys, nice to speak to you. See you later.